What we're going to be doing today is going to be guided by me through this procedure or protocol or framework where we're going to be moving our attention around the body. And there's three things that I'll just highlight as I just introduce what we're going to be doing, and we'll get started in about 4 minutes. Is the first benefit, we're going to be training our attention. We're going to be widening our attention. We're going to be narrowing our attention. And what's going to happen is you're going to get distracted by something around you or by just your own thoughts. And we know when we're having difficulty falling asleep, it's often that the mind is quite active and our attention is to thoughts. So in this practice, we're going to be developing our attention and how to better manage it, how to better navigate attention. The second thing we're going to be working on is gaining a greater awareness of our body, of our sense perception, of our feelings, because we're going to be moving that attention throughout the body and not just thinking about the body or parts of the body, but as best we can, sensing them directly. And the third component is we're also going to be cultivating certain attitudes or qualities or values. So the ones that I suggest that we cultivate today as we're moving our attention around our bodies, scanning it, as we're becoming more aware, is to be more open, be more curious, to be more kind, patient. This isn't about making everything positive. This isn't about enjoying everything that causes us difficulties or pain. But it's about whether we can pay attention to that in a different way. It's going to take us around 25 minutes to do this body scan. I highly recommend that we get comfortable. I am seated in a chair with my feet flat on the ground, but you can be seated a different way, cross-legged, or maybe sitting on the shins in a hero's pose. Or I actually highly recommend, as I'm looking at my puppy laying down, chewing on something, is to find a laying down position. As this is a body scan for sleep, I think it's nice to get a sense of laying down. And I do recommend setting a timer or an alarm so you're awakened in case you do fall asleep. And I think that's most of what I wanted to say. I promise to end with about 5 minutes for us to transition into what's next, as it may take some time to transition from the body scan into whatever's next. I'm assuming we've found our position, getting extra pillows or blankets if that's more supportive. Knowing you can always adjust, you can always shift if that means you'll be more comfortable. And you have a choice what to do with the eyes. I actually recommend if we've already spent a lot of time on the screens, to maybe look around for a bit. If you're deciding to have the eyes open, then maybe looking further away You can also begin to soften the gaze or even close the eye.
ماشي.
And I'd like for us to start just by getting,
Sorry, you are muted.
thank you, Zolt. Don't know what's happening with that. But yes, so just getting a sense of the body to start. Maybe asking yourself, how am I feeling? Am I tired? Am I energized? Is there a part of the body that feels pleasant or unpleasant? The goal is not to change anything. The goal is not to feel something in particular. It's about paying attention to what's here right now with those qualities or attitudes of openness, friendliness, care. Beginning now to narrow the attention towards the feet. What do you notice as you pay attention to the feet? Getting a sense of them as best you can. In other words, how do you know where your feet are without looking at them? You might be noticing that it's actually quite difficult to keep the attention on a single body part, that I'm too busy, or I'm getting easily distracted, or my mind is racing here or there. And when you notice that, when you notice your attention has left the body, congratulations. It's your mindful moment. It's you being aware. And then you have a choice. You're always more than welcome to continue mind wandering or focusing attention elsewhere. Or you can kindly and gently bring the attention back to the body, knowing you may need to repeat this process several times in the minutes we have together. Now, the invitation is to widen the attention to both legs. Maybe noticing a difference or similarity between one leg and the other. Perhaps there's a lot you can notice, or maybe there's nothing at all. Either one's okay, just noting your own experience as we focus a bit longer on the legs. And now, on your next out breath or your next exhalation, letting the legs be, letting go of attention on them as we begin escorting our attention to the hands, noticing where the hands are, how they're feeling, and anything else that might be there as you do so. Widening the attention to both arms, taking your time to scan and explore your own arms from the fingertips to the shoulders. Mind wanders. We notice that. Maybe even saying to yourself, ah, I'll get to you later. Practicing an unconditional patience to our mind's ability to wander. Perhaps now expanding the attention to include both legs, both arms. On the next breath out, allowing the arms, allowing the legs to be, letting go of attention on them. So we move attention to the middle of the body, just noticing where your attention went first, taking your time to pay attention to the belly, the back, the groin or pelvis area, the chest, the upper back, getting a sense of what's here. Maybe even paying attention to the rising and falling in this area as the body breathes. Beginning to widen the attention to include the arms and the legs, as well as the torso or the middle of the body. Exploring that difference between thinking about the body and sensing it directly. And on the next out breath, whenever it comes, letting this or these parts of the body be, letting go of attention on them as we focus on our neck and our throat. Taking some time to scan your face, paying attention to the side, the back, the front, and the top of the head. Maybe even exploring the possibility of paying attention to the brain, slowly beginning to scan down the body, including the shoulders and the chest, the arms and the belly and the back, scanning down past pelvis area, through the legs, down to the feet, getting a sense of the whole body. For the time being, nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to get. Just taking some time to be with the body, this body, your body, or whatever words you'd like to use to describe. If you'd like, maybe a little smile, maybe taking some time to appreciate that I have a body, that however it is, or whatever it's going through, it's allowing me to be right here, right now, with all these other amazing bodies from around the world. Appreciating I can breathe, I can feel that my heart is beating, that my mind is thinking. Now that we've taken time to give our body attention, now that we've become more aware of our bodies, cultivated attitudes of openness, patience, and care, responding skillfully to what your body might need, what would support your well being. As we slowly begin to end our body scan, perhaps by moving the fingers, the toes to start, blinking open the eyes if they were closed. You could take your time to transition. And I thank you kindly for being here today and doing the body scan.